everyone. My name is Lily Rono, and I work with Mojachu as the head of marketing and communication. And with us today is the lovely Paula Juba, who is joining us for this session. So Paula, before we continue, could you kindly tell us about yourself?
Sure. I'm an elderly volunteer with Mojachu. I've been to Kenya 2 times, and I get more out of it, I think, than my students do. I ride horses. I've been in the Army. I've lived pretty much all over. I'm from New Jersey, but living in Texas now. I just get a lot of personal satisfaction out of making a difference to a handful of students in Kenya. And that handful, I think, will go on and they'll impact a handful and it will just snowball. So it's very rewarding.
So how many children do you sponsor or have you sponsored so far?
Well, let's see. Now I'm only sponsoring 4. Grace is almost done with university. She's a star student. She's a star. She's so bright, so much more mature than I was at her age. She's studying floriculture, and she's taking, of course, a lot of science classes. She wants to work for a floriculture company in Israel because that's where a lot of the flowers from Nairobi are shipped. And I encourage her to take more business classes, more accounting, more marketing, more analytics. And I expect her to be the CEO of a company in about 10 years. So she'll really make a difference. Then Vivian wants to be a doctor. She's still in high school. So then also Daniel and Edwin are all in high school.
Just for now. Okay, that's quite a number.
Just for now, but I still keep in touch with others. Kelvin, I know you asked me about Kelvin, who is deaf. I take a special interest in that because my mother went deaf. And so I'm familiar with the special problems of deaf people. And then through meeting Kelvin, I broadened my own horizons. He broadened them for me. And this is what I mean by it's so rewarding and there's a snowball effect. Because I was sponsoring Kelvin, I started to take sign language classes so I could communicate better when I went to Kenya. Through the sign language classes, through my teacher, actually, Sherry Joe, I learned a lot about the discrimination that deaf people face. She told me how much she had to fight for everything that she got, how people thought that because she was deaf, she was stupid. And of course, it's not at all the same thing. And I fully expect, since my mother went deaf, I expect to go deaf in a few years because there's obviously a genetic component to that. But I'll be prepared. I will be able to sign.
That's the spirit.
Since technology is so advanced, I think that I may be able to hold things off and deal a little bit more easily with it. That's why I still keep in touch with Kelvin. And of course with Doris. Who is not my student, but I met her because of Kelvin.
How do you communicate with your sponsored children?
Through emails and through letters and the occasional Zoom.
And why is it?
Actually, I find, go ahead.
And why is it important for you to communicate them as often as possible?
But it's important because I want to know what they're doing. I want to encourage them. I want them to know that I care about them. And I think it serves as an encouragement. I know Vivian said she was disappointed in her grades. And I said, well, think long term. My grades were not always the best. But as long as you have a long-term plan. And again, I learn more from them. I think that's the beauty of Mojachu, really. It's the mission is so clear. And I think that I believe in the mission because I was reading a book by a Zambian economist. You've probably read her book. The book is called Dead Aid. And it talks about how useless, if not useless and wasteful, so much of the country to country aid is, as opposed to person aid. That by providing an education for one person, you're not just affecting that one person, you're affecting that person's entire family. You're affecting all the friends of that person. You're affecting all the other people that will, in years to come, have contact with that person. So, for example, with Grace, she'll be the CEO of a company, I have no doubt.
Yeah, sure.
So that's why I think Mojachu is such a brilliant, clear, yet simple concept, just one. As it is in Swahili, just one.
Just one, yes.
You know, that's why I get so much out of it. That's why I believe in Mojachu. And of course, it's great to visit Kenya as someone with a connection to the country. So everything I mentioned to Grace, the next time I come, I want to see the coffee exchange. So that's my next plan.
What does the sponsorship provide?
The sponsorship provides education. It, of course, provides money. But the money is used 100% for education. And these are kids who are at the top of their class. These are kids who are ambitious, kids who really want it. So it provides education and living expenses, which are minimal, of course. But the letters also provide encouragement and provide a sense that someone cares and that someone is looking out for them. And it's not just me, it's of course Michael and Kathy, you, Edwin. So it's providing role models. It provides so much more than just tuition.
Sure. So how long have you been a sponsor, and what are some of the best memories with your sponsored children now that you've visited them before?
I've been a sponsor, how long has it been? A few years. I guess since Mojachu started, however many years that has been.
Yes, those are 9 years.
Think it's 9 years. Okay, it's been about 9 years then. And my best memories, of course, have been visiting Kenya. And the first time was great. The second time, I was able to spend a lot more time with the kids. And because it was there, it's not any particular moment. When you're with someone, 24 hours a day, 7 days, you learn more about daily life. They learn about mine. So it's little moments. I guess it's like having a kid. You can't think of any like, oh, their graduation was the best moment. No, it's every single day. That it's little moments that you spend with them. With Kelvin, it was being able to communicate in sign. Not enough people learn sign language, although I think that's changing.
I agree. Definitely, I think campaigns to create awareness about people living with hearing impairment is it's working.
And mobility impairment.
Yes. So you mentioned Kelvin, one of your sponsored children, who you continued to support even after he completed his education. And you mentioned before that one of the reasons why you continue supporting him is because you understand now the challenges that people living with hearing impairment face. So
I'm continuing to support him because I really love him. Also, and because it's hard. I don't think you can say, certainly not in the United States, although in Kenya, I think students are more mature. But when someone reaches 21, they still don't have a lot of life experience. He was working. He was working as a stonemason. He was working far from Nairobi, cutting stone, very, very rough work. Not that I'm supporting him. It's a temporary bridge. I'm providing a bridge to a better life. And I think that's an important distinction.
Yes,
because
yes, I agree.
He has so much more. He's so smart.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want him to waste himself. I don't want to see any child, although he's not a child, but I don't want to see anyone waste himself or herself.
Yeah, I agree.
I want them to be everything they can be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think it's very important, as you've correctly put it, creating that bridge. Yeah, so that's important. We appreciate you for that. What keeps you going with the Mojachu sponsorship program? What makes you come back for more children?
The students. Again, these are personal and selfish motives. Yeah. People only do things for selfish motives. Mm-hmm. And it depends on what gives you gratification.
Yeah.
And I do get it from seeing other people succeed. This is, I think seeing other people succeed is the best. Yeah. Because you do as much as you can. I've been very lucky in my life that I'm able to do this kind of thing. Yeah. But seeing other people and knowing that I've been a small part of helping them achieve, this is what keeps me coming back to Mojachu. Mm-hmm. Again, I think I'm making a difference. And this is what I think all people want to do in the long run. Yeah. I never cared that much about material things except travel. I do enjoy that, I have to say. But beyond that, it's more helping other people, and you get a lot of bang for the buck, for lack of a better term, a lot of return on investment at Mojachu. Yeah. The schools are so rigorous and everything is so competitive. So again, you've really got the cream. And so I want to see others succeed. I want to see people reach their full potential and make a difference in the lives of others. Yeah. You know, I won't make a difference if I buy clothes. I won't make, in fact, I think I'll help destroy the environment if I just buy more clothes and wear disposable clothes and wear them once. Yeah. It doesn't matter. I don't go for social media in terms of taking selfies about the restaurants I'm at. And, it just, for me, when I go to a restaurant, which I just started going to after 2 years, it's more for being with my friends and having an event, a person-to-person event, as opposed to taking a selfie and posting it out to a bunch of strangers. And that's why I'm not on social media. I don't care where people are eating. I don't care what they're wearing. But I do care, and I think most people do. Once they've gotten any sort of material benefits and they realize it doesn't make them happy, I think at that point, they want to see what they can do to make a difference in the world.
Yeah. Thank you, Paula.
That's what keeps me coming back.
Yes. So maybe as we conclude, why should people donate to Mojachu?
Again, for the same selfish reasons that I donate. They can provide a year's worth of education for a student who will go on to do something great with his life or her life. They can actually go to Kenya and see we have so many misconceptions about not just Kenya, but about other countries too. I think it's selfish reasons.
Yeah, okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lily.
Thank you, Paula. Okay. So as we finish, we are with Paula Juba, who is one of our sponsors. If you want to know about Mojachu, our website is www.mojachu.org. To sponsor a student, high school student, costs around $85 per month. To sponsor a university student, it costs around $175 a month. There are other ways you can support Mojachu, such as donating your stock, creating a fundraiser for your birthday. And from time to time, we usually have fundraisers. So follow us on Facebook at Mojachu, follow us on Instagram at Mojachu, and LinkedIn as well as Twitter, so as to keep updated about what's happening in Mojachu. Thank you so much. We're glad to have you.
Thank you.